You for joining us. Welcome to another interesting episode on Nostalgia Media's The Slow Parenting podcast. My name is Richie Adeusi. Today we are continuing on our series on parenting and substance use and abuse pandemic. Some have asked me if WHO has declared a pandemic. We've been living in the drug pandemic for decades. Even if no one declares it, when it hits you, you understand uh, it's a pandemic. Okay, it's been ongoing. It's global. It affects everyone directly and indirectly. So uh, words are there to be used. We don't need to wait for flag ups before uh, we know that there's a problem, and then we'll address it as such. So, welcome to this episode today. We're going on the series two, the second edition on that series of why your children or young people around you may uh, decide to experiment or actually get to use psychotropic substances, and maybe even ultimately get addicted to psychotropic substances. We're not praying for those, but then when you are in the know about what the issues are and what you can do and should do, they're better equipped to help your children. Okay. No one else will parent your children better than you. No one else should stay in your place to parent your children. You should not work, plan, or look forward to outsourcing uh, parenting your children to anyone. It's not schools, not churches, not any religious organization for that matter. Stay focused, get information, get the skills, get all the resources that you need to be able to be that person to parent your children. A whole lot of the challenges we have globally today starts from the home. There's that parenting gap um, that could make the difference in the lives of our children. Things could happen. It's to safeguard against some of those things that could happen that we're running this program, and especially in this series on substance use and abuse issues. Okay, so today we're looking at the second reason. Okay, another reason, our second reason in this series why your children might get, attracted to using uh, substances, psychotropic substances, cigarettes, alcohol, fentanyl, name the lots. It starts with something. So today we are zeroing in on the um, craving to feel grown up. Oh, you say, oh, what in work's name is that? How does that come in? Yes, it comes in. Your children feel assume that when adults do some things and they could do those things that adults are doing, it means that they too have become grown-ups. Yes, and we're saying as parents, one more reason why you should be mindful about your conduct around your children. And we say often in this program that we're not judging anyone. We're not being judgmental here by any means. If you already used to using the substance, you smoke, you drink, we always say, tell your children the truth about your struggles. If you are enjoying it, go ahead, tell them you're enjoying it. There are not many people who, it's just that, well, I can't stop, But there are some people that will give you their reasons. Have that discussion with your children. So what we're saying here is today we're zeroing on the fact that when children and young people see adults behaving, practicing uh, certain things, they believe that if they could go ahead and do those things, practice those things, so that it means that they too have grown up. So there's that temptation to feel grown up, Okay, for the reason of forming, oh, I'm also a grown-up, I can do this. They begin to copy, well, harmless things, applying cosmetics, applying makeups, if you like, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, or which foot you put your shoes into first, which foot you put into your footwear first. Your children are noticing all of those things. And as we go on in this program, I will share my own personal experiences, even as regards my relationship, at least with one of my own children. Okay, and then you will see that these issues are they're not isolated. It happens in one place, it's global. It doesn't know culture, don't know tradition, don't know class. Children are children. Parents, well, are parents. Cultures might be different. Cultures are different. Traditions are different. But in the global village that they tell us that we live in today, children quickly pick up things from other cultures. There are certain places, I'm not making excuses for anybody, just like I'm not judging anybody. There are certain environments that, because of climatic conditions, people get to use some substances. Somebody watching on a TV screen, seeing in a movie, don't understand those climatic conditions, don't know why, and he just feels that that's wow, see what wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So as parents, we are there, we should be there to make those clarifications. Yes, we should be there to make those clarifications, because making those clarifications help us to have our children informed, okay, so that they can also make informed decisions when you are not there, okay. Um, there are risks that you shouldn't bother with shielding your children from taking. There are things that we call acceptable risk taking in parenting and growing up. They're acceptable risk taking, but there are some risks that your children, you should tell them, please don't take this one. Okay? You want to feel grown up. There are acceptable risks again. You want to speak grown up, talking with your friends, your classmates, especially people of the opposite gender. Yeah, it's a risk to, you want to talk with somebody, not necessarily over, you just want to have a conversation. A lot of children, young people generally, even adults, find it difficult to talk with a man talking with a woman, a boy talking with a girl. It's a risk because you don't know what response you are going to get. So those are acceptable risks, because again, you're going to have to relate with people as you grow up as children. So your children having friends, a girl have a toddler, a toddler girl sees a boy, oh, he's my friend, I like him. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't begin to dream dreams that are not there, that are not in their head, that don't put such dreams in their head. Those are acceptable rates. And you find one that said, no, I don't want to talk to her. She's a girl. Why don't you? Because she's a girl. What is wrong with being a girl? No, I want to talk to her. You make that conversation, that's a risk that you should take, because he has to, at some point in life, talk to somebody who doesn't look like him, like who wears a gown or a skirt, or so that you also be able to differentiate things. Those are acceptable risks. Okay, you're in high school, you, um, it's a school party, people are dancing, you are standing there, you are thinking about how to go and ask your classmate to dance with you. That's a risk. Oh, sorry, that is a risk. And this is an acceptable risk. You could get there and get issue. As we're growing up, there's something they call issue in Nigeria. That's refusal, from somebody of an opposite gender, especially mostly females telling you, excuse me, good. So that's the risk. Those are acceptable risks. But then experimenting with substances, no, it's not. They're not acceptable risks. Some of us learned driving by smuggling our elder siblings or our parents' car keys out when they are sleeping, and then we'll end up bashing the vehicle against the wall, against the pole, or against something. Those are acceptable risks. They're expensive, but then they're acceptable risks. I'm not recommending it, but I'm telling you some of the things. That way, well, you could get injured, you might get lucky. Well, we didn't get lucky. That's how I learned how to drive to start with. I'm not recommending it, please. But we're just saying there are certain things that do not leave. Well, that's if you are lucky, you didn't end up running into an electric pole or a wall. I didn't. Okay. Once again, I am not recommending it, but those are things that young people tend to do. You see adults drive, you want to drive. You could ask daddy, mommy, auntie, uncle, I want to learn to drive too. Ask. Don't be like me. Don't be like us. Don't be like those of us who went to sneak keys and when they are sleeping and we find a way. No, I won't describe how it happened. So it's not like I'm encouraging anybody, okay? So ask nicely, okay? Hold on, you can't drive now, you're too young. Yeah, supervised at certain age, you supervise the driving lessons, but not leaving the young person to get out driving alone. He still has to follow due process to go through the right schools, the right channels to go to a driving school, driving lessons. Those are things that people want to do as they grow up. As they want to do those, there are also some other things that they see adults do that they also crave. Smoking, drinking, even the way you dress. Okay? My daughter, I keep talking about her on this program. Yeah, I talk about her because, again, I talk about what I know. When she got her first wristwatch, thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. Thank you so much. Keep it going. Hit the like button, please. Thank you so much. Share the live and invite your friends over to be part of this discussion. Thank you so much for liking the live, okay? Now, when she got her first wristwatch as a teenager, she wore the wristwatch on her right wrist. I was curious. Okay? I had to ask, Biddy, yes, Daddy, you're wearing your wristwatch on your right wrist. Why? He said, well, you wear your wristwatch on your right. I used to like to wear wristwatches then. I used to love wristwatches. I used to collect wristwatches in my other life, my earlier life. Right now, see, no wristwatch, no wristwatch. Okay? Well, technology, really. I ask myself, everybody might not agree with me, but I'm not everybody. Okay, the phone has time on it. This one has time. So what's the big deal? That's me. So please, I'm telling you why there's no research on my hand. Hasn't been in about 2 decades. No, well, about 2 decades. 15, 16, 17 years, I've not worn many research. Even when I had wristwatches that I collected over time, they're somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know if they're still there anyway. So her wristwatch was on her right. You wearing it because I wear on my, yes, I did. I'm like, wow. So what else has she copied? What else was she copying? What else are your children copying that you're doing that you're not even taking note of? I saw that. Okay. There's also a famous, well, a certain interchange between myself and herself. I've shared it on this program about their interactions with me, why she was not relating, playing, or whatever. But I see her relate with other people. And it was like, because you get angry, you shout. They're watching. That's what we're saying. So if you could copy that, okay. Well, when she said that, it wasn't even as she's copying. It was some time much later, a couple of years later, actually, that about 3-4 years later, that by this time they now had a brother. And then somebody that was upset that he said I was always shouting, I'm always angry. I was supposed to have been out of home, I'm supposed to have gone on a retreat. I was actually on a retreat, but then I did not leave the premises. I was in the visitors area of the compound. And they didn't know I was there. It was only their mother that knew I didn't travel or I hadn't gone a retreat on the retreat outside of the premises. But I could hear on that retreat, as I'm praying, maybe I'm studying, pick that toy up right now. Finish that meal right now, or else. I'm like, wow. I think it's in talk therapy. I think it's talk therapy. That story I narrated in that book. And when I returned, in quote, returned from rejoined the family, as far as they were concerned, Daddy has to return from his travel, from his retreat. But, well, I just left where I was. Before they came back from school, I got back to the general population in the house, and then they met me. Oh, Daddy's back. Yes. So mealtime, dinner. After dinner, we're all seated in the living room, and then come to think of it, who makes the most noise in this house? I looked at me, and the person I was going to talk about pointed. She was the first person. I said, "That is you." Okay, so the siblings also pointed at me. I said, "Okay, good." I'm the noisemaker. All right. But I had things like, yo, finish that food. No, I said, but somebody was like, pick that toy, arrange it, finish that meal now. So they looked at me and was like, how did you hear that? I laughed. I said, well, I was in the spirit. So where I went to the retreat, I was hearing you. They are watching us. They are copying. And it's worse when it now comes to this issue we're discussing today, substance use of psychotropic substances. They're watching. The same way they can watch you to copy what you do, the same way they copy what they see on the TV, on the movie screen, billboards out there, online on their phones, other adults around. So it's our responsibility to provide them with clarity and options, information with which they make informed decisions about, their choices in wanting to behave like adults. It starts from how you behave as an adult. It must start from that, so that they are not, confused in any way. Okay, so generally, children watch and believe that acting like grown-ups equals maturity. Unfortunately, it is not. Unfortunately, copying your fashion sense might be harmless. Copying fashion sense, including makeup sense, including how you walk, how you talk, might be harmless, but they are not the only things they can copy. They could also copy experimentation with substances. They've seen how somebody is doing it. They could get offered. It might not even be offered. If, like we say, generally alcohol is available at home, they try. He will not be there. He will not know. The cigarettes, if it's available at home, if somebody smokes at home, they could try. Before anybody even offers them a drug out there, they'll try with the ones at home. The cigarette butts you smoke and drop, that would be, what was Daddy getting this? Let me see. Okay, yeah. of it's their turn to do the dishes. Okay, the glass you used to drink cognac, the previous evening or hours earlier, they're the dregs, they're stressed, they're trying. Okay, once it's there is something that is called social drinking, what that means. Drinking is drinking. There are some people that when they smell, even the whiff, the smell of alcohol send them to Kubla Khan. Okay, send them to another planet, So not to talk of, you say, oh, social drinking. Like we said, our tolerance levels are not the same. Okay, we should know that, and we should let our children know that. Our tolerance levels are not the same. Okay, if you do use, we keep going back to this issue of if you do use substances, especially if you smoke, if you drink some alcohol, explain your struggle. Be honest, be sincere about your experiences, about your usage. If you're trying to stop, make the effort, stop. If you are not able to stop, share the truthfulness about those experiences with them so that they understand the difficulties you are going through in trying to stop, so that they also understand that this is not a route you want to get onto. Yes. As a matter of fact, your own experiences in trying to stop and you've not been able to stop become very nice curricula for educating them about why they should not try, and they could see what you are struggling with, especially if you are sincere about those struggles. They could see them, and then, is this what you want? No, this shouldn't be you. Please, I made this error. I don't want it for you, not because I'm controlling you, not because I'm dictating to you, but it's not an experience you want to have. Lovingly. Mutually. Have. Call your partner, your wife or your husband. Let's be unified in making that case. Just ask your mom, how much I've been struggling with this. Or ask your dad. He supported me all this while, but then I think it's just time for me to let you know that, please appeal. First, don't cut this. Force, Force, forcing, being dictatorial doesn't cut this, because the more you make anything secretive, before the more you other people around, the more they want to do whatever that thing is behind your back, especially children, the more they want to try. But it's not the same thing as saying, well, it's free, go, and when you taste, you understand what I'm saying. No. First, remember what we are talking about in this episode. Your children might believe that doing what you do is a shortcut to becoming grown up, feeling like grown up, behaving like grown up. They are not grown up, that's to start with. And I saw a social media post some time ago. Nobody told me about this. Said this whole grown-up thing is a scam. Nobody told me I will pay school fees, I will pay rent, I will pay for my phone bill, I'll pay electricity bill, I'll pay my wife. Say being grown up is a scam. So let them know that too. If you want to feel grown up, okay, let's share the bills in the house so you can be grown up. You want to come baby, okay, let's also find the funny side of it, but be serious about it. Okay, being grown up, I mean, using substances, psychotropic substances, is no way to help you to become grown up. No. Now, you are telling them doing this is not the way, then what is the way? What do you replace, give them in place of experimenting with harmful behavior? Children want to be seen. They want to be heard, especially today. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be taken serious. They want to, be respected too. You give your children certain tasks to perform that will make them feel part of. They have authority too. I mean, I'm the one doing the. I'm the one in charge. Don't put on the generator. It's me. What's the big deal of going to turn the key to a power generator on? But you assign it to somebody. That person feels important. Give somebody the responsibility of locking up the home before you go to bed. Depending on how many children you have or how many young people you have around you, you can let somebody else be the one to do the unlocking the following morning. So it's my job, it's me. Yes. Washing your car, all of those, give them responsibilities, give them things to be in charge of. They might not even be the one washing the car. You can make somebody the quartermaster, that is the supervisor, the team leader of the car wash things. It makes the roster about whose turn it will be to wash cars, to do the dishes. Give them respect. They feel belong. They feel, appreciated. They feel respected, that you trust them with some responsibility. And the other positive side of that too is, apart from them not, it might be actually a reason why they will not even bother to get to try anything, because they would guard that trust jealously and wouldn't want to do anything that would make you distrust them. That might be a reason. That might be, a factor in that. No, wow, I can't I can't go to look at my dad. I can't do this. No, did not you remember all the way they trusted you at home, do this, and then you're not going to do something that will, that might be the reason why your child will not go with the flow with his friends to try anything that could make you not to trust him or her anymore. Discuss that. Let them also know that, I trust you. I believe in you. Please don't be specific about the issues. You're discussing drugs, mention that by name. Don't join your friends if they smoke. If they smoke, be far from them. Yes, they say your friend, but smoking is not a good habit, as if that's your family stand. Some families, it's not an issue to them. So if that's in your family, smoking, apart from the issue of health related issue, apart from health issues, some people morally, culturally, smoking is just like, no, it's a no-no. If that's your family, discuss it with your children. But if socially, any of you smoke, they have uncles who smoke, they have aunties, they have grandparents who smoke and all of that. So you cannot begin to tell them that smoking is some outlandish thing that never happened. They see people they respect as smoking, so they wonder what is wrong if you're telling me, grandma smokes. Okay, grandma smokes. I think we should pay a trip to grandma. You make that trip happen. Let grandma share her smoking experience, grandpa share his smoking experience. Yeah, I've smoked, but I've been trying to stop. Did your father tell you that? Oh, yeah, he said so. But why are you still smoking, grandma? Well, that is the reason why you should not smoke. I've not been able to stop. And then we will now go into the kind of challenges that might come with smoking, that are documented, that are researched, that are not fiction. Another point along that line, same line. When you are telling children what could happen with them or to them from experimenting or using psychotropic substances or carcinogenic or substances that could, affect the body cells and then create things like cancer. Okay, so don't tell them you are going to have whatever name of whatever disease in 20 years time, 10 years time. They don't understand. They no count. They can count. When we say they don't understand 10 years, they can count 10 years. But 10 years psychologically is like forever for them at the moment. So let them relate, tell them, share what could happen to them the next day. Like, because of the influence of alcohol, for instance, you might not be able to go to school tomorrow when you wake up. You might wake up late and then you go late and then that's a problem with your going to school. Okay? Hello, Ramsey. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining on TikTok. Thank you, guys. Please go ahead, hit the like button on TikTok, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let them share consequences that are relatable with them, like mouth odor after cigarettes or even alcohol. Okay, like not being able to be in control of themselves the following morning when they wake up. Share, those are relatable. If you, I think we've shared this before here, if there are adults around them who unfortunately might have health issues related to any use of any of those, okay, I'm not saying this where I'm not laughing, I'm not, deriding that individual, but then that's a problem that could be your issue. Do you want that? No, I don't want that. They're saving something better now than using anybody that they know, but will have the same, it's the same thing. On the internet, there are so many videos about the effect of alcohol, the effect of smoking, the effect of this, so many videos. Look for those videos, download them, replay them, play the playback. That's what I mean by replay. Playback, and it's okay, let's watch this together. Do you like how that person is behaving? No, why is he behaving like that? Well, if if you make the mistake of using that's see what's happening, they can read. The pictures are there, and the effects are also listed in some media materials. You let them see, Google, download, playback, show them. Okay? Without leaving your home, without even calling any professional, without going for your home, on their phone, on your laptop, on your tablet. Show. This is what using this can cost you. Wow. Really? Okay. They get the message. Actually, it's become easier a little bit, but because you still have to get down to doing all of this anyway. So it becomes easier to make those points because of tons of material on the internet, including this program. Okay? To get them, we are equipping you. You need to equip them. We're equipping you as parents to be able to provide that parenting guidance, the information you need, the talking points, the resource that you need. Those are the things we're talking to you about on this program. But the real action of getting to do the parenting is up to you. You have to play that role. Don't outsource it to anybody. Only seek a professional, well, when something is beyond you. And by the time something is beyond you, look in the mirror. By the time you're saying this is beyond me, look in the mirror. At some point, we didn't notice, we didn't pay attention. We were too busy with some other things. And then problems with that. But what we are talking about here is don't let that gap happen. Okay? Prioritize your relationship with your children. Prioritize your information sharing. Take note. Go to our YouTube channel. You'll find past videos about communication skills, communication processes. You'll find all of those there with DIY steps, do-it-yourself steps, how you can do this, how you can listening, how do you listen, how do you use time. We've done videos about all of these things in the past. And this one now we are telling you what to do to prevent your children from getting into experimenting with psychotropic substances. Some people want to say hard substances. Hard. Okay. Now, you have said, okay, we redirected their energies. Okay, you've shown them what else they can do. You can give them responsibilities about what things they can do to feel grown up, like lock up the doors, wash the car. Okay, you are the one cooking today. Okay, you are the one who is actually going to make the roster for who is going to do what in the next 1 week at home. It feels good. It's one that's going to tell Daddy what's going to do at home. Put yourself in that person. He or she has to put in that roster about what to do. I feel good. At least, yeah, Daddy, okay, do you know that I'm the one who's going to tell you what you're going to do tomorrow? Yes. Go ahead. Okay, what have you assigned to me? Do it. You are teaching so many things at the same time. So many things. Okay? Not just them feeling grown up. Okay? Confront wrong messages on the media. It's just about the same ways we're talking here. Adverts, alcohol is glamorized on media, TV, internet. Cigarette smoking is glamorized. Focus on the consequences. Short term. Remember, don't go to 10 years, 20 years later. Cancer. Or it doesn't necessarily have to need to take 10, 20 years. Like we say, our tolerance levels are different for virtually everything that happens to our bodies. Some people might be able to live with certain things till they die, nothing happens to them. Some other person tries, the next month is an emergency in the hospital, okay? Confront wrong messages, tell them the lies. We shared a video last episode here, a courtroom drama, okay, on cigarettes. Let them know the lies that are packaged as glamour, okay? Create freedom with boundaries. Let them, like we said, we've talked about acceptable risks, okay? Don't block up and also don't let loose completely, okay? You have the rights to do things as we have agreed in our family boundary that we have set. All of us agree. You have the right to go do it, but also remember to let them know that there's no such thing as absolute freedom. Okay? Freedom is a very rare coin that has two sides, head and tail. Freedom is part of a very rare coin that has two sides, head and tail. On the flip side of that coin that is freedom is a certain word called responsibility. Garnished with what? Consequences. Let them know that. You're free, you go to your friend's party, but then promise you are not going to, what we say, don't drink anything you didn't take from home. But I'm going to my friend's party, they'll give me Coke there. Well, maybe you should drink enough Coke before you leave. Or don't drink anything you didn't open. At least acceptable risks. Yeah, you go to the party, you can drink. You want to take a a carbonated drink, open it yourself. Don't take opened drinks. That means don't drink served drinks in glasses or disposable cups. No. Pour your drinks yourself. If you can't pour yourself, well, maybe better just forget that particular drink. Okay? Your children and young people around you crave growing up. It takes time for them to discover that thing that somebody discovered and put online to say, this grown-up thing is a scam. It takes time. I feel like growing up, when I grow up, I'll be able to have my own house. You also know that they pay for the house and everything inside it. Yes. I had discussed all of it. But then they want to, okay, don't worry. When I grow up, I'm going to, I grew up quickly. Growing up comes with some baggages. Experimenting with hard drugs, psychotropic substances has baggages they don't want to be part of. Let them know what those baggages are. So I'm going to take a pause here, and then we'll play you the video for this episode that we produced for it. And at the other side of the video, we'll come back and take contributions, questions, and comments from our community members. Don't go away. Let's watch the video. Thank you.
Dear parents, stay with this video to find out why you need to be mindful of who your children learn from. Children and young people do not only copy their peers, they also copy their parents, other adults around them, and the ones they see in public spaces as well. They watch, they imitate, and they believe that acting like grown-ups equals maturity. Unfortunately, this desire to act or behave like adults has the risk of opening the doors to harmful behaviors and practices attached to it. What begins as playful imitation of fashion, language, or gestures can quickly become imitation of destructive habits like drinking, smoking, or experimenting with drugs. Dr. Richie Adewusi's book, The Sure Foundation, is clear about this tendency. Children and young people oftentimes believe that the right thing to do is be like somebody, talk like somebody, dress, walk, eat, drive, smoke like you, maybe, their parents, their uncles, aunts, teachers, pastors, the movie stars and advert characters. When harmful behaviors are modeled by adults, endorsed by the media, or normalized in social settings, children and young people often interpret them as signs of maturity. Without strong guidance, they may believe substance use is part of growing up. This is why your own behavior, not just your words, becomes the loudest lesson your children and young people around you would need to learn. Here is how you can respond with wisdom and clarity. 1. Model what you expect. Children and young people copy what they see, not necessarily only what they are told. If you use psychotropic substances, they may interpret that as acceptable. Even the use of any substances in moderation sends acceptability messages. When you are honest about your struggles or choose to abstain entirely, you teach them the truth. Maturity is not copying harmful habits. It is exercising discipline. This leads to trust in your guidance because they see you practicing what you preach. 2. Share real and immediate consequences. Adolescents and young people live in the now, not in the distant future. Telling them smoking causes cancer in 20 years is less persuasive than showing them how alcohol can ruin their school day tomorrow, or how cigarettes can bring mouth odor and headaches. Making the short-term consequences clear helps them connect choices with results they can understand in the short term. This produces better decision-making in the present. 3. Redirect their desire to feel grown up. Children and young people crave responsibility. If they do not get meaningful roles at home, they may seek risky behaviors outside to prove maturity. Give them real responsibilities like locking the doors at night, holding the car keys, or caring for siblings. These tasks channel their need for independence in positive directions. The outcome is that they feel respected, trusted, and seen without needing to copy harmful adult habits. 4. Confront wrong messages from media and peers. Do not lecture endlessly. Instead, ask questions, listen carefully, and clarify impressions. If a movie or advert glorifies substance use, invite your children and young people around you to discuss what they noticed. Teach them to separate behavior from identity. Substance use is bad, but the person is not bad. This builds critical thinking and prevents blind imitation. 5. Create freedom with boundaries. Total restriction can make rebellion attractive, while total freedom leaves children and young people vulnerable. The balance is to give freedom with responsibility. Let them know independence is earned and it carries consequences. This teaches that freedom is not a permit for harmful experimentation, but an opportunity to prove responsibility. Over time, this balance builds maturity rooted in wisdom, not recklessness. Children and young people are always watching, listening, and imitating. If you say one thing but live or do a different thing, the contradiction becomes a silent lesson they will follow. The voices of peers and media will always compete, but the example of your life will remain the loudest influence. Practice what you want them to learn, speak with honesty, and give them healthy ways to grow. That is how you break the cycle of negative influence and help them discover true maturity. Please share this video with parents who need to watch it. Comment, like, follow, and subscribe to the #SlowParenting podcast for more insightful parenting videos. Not just hacks, but heart.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys for staying with us. You've seen the video. Like we say every episode, it's free. You're free to download it, share it. There must be one person or the other that you feel that, oh, this person should see this video. Don't hesitate, send that video. And most importantly for us here, please subscribe. Subscribe, okay? Support us, support this program. If you feel that what we are doing makes sense, support us by subscribing. Support us by sharing this video, inviting people over for these streams, and then leave your comments, engage, become a member of our community. We would appreciate that. Whatever messages, whatever comments you send to me directly or leave on any of the handles, you can be sure that we will respond. Thank you so much for watching the video and for following us this far on the program. Okay, so here now we have comments and questions from our community members. This community member here says, my teenage daughter told me, Dad, if you really trust me like you say, you let me try weed at least once. Sorry, please. Sorry, I got to laugh. You let me try weed at least once. It is once that you it is a trial that you may not recover from. How do I respond wisely? Yes, wisely. Trial. There are certain things you don't need to try because you don't know how it's going to end. It will not end well for you as an individual. Bring in the issue of people's tolerance level and people's. I think I shared at the top of this season 7, the very first episode, when we introduced the issue of substance use and abuse as our issue area for this season 7. I shared, my friends are like, okay, cigarette, it's nice. When I woke up the following morning, I didn't like myself. I didn't like my mouth. And I'm like, please don't. It wasn't about cancer. It was just, how's my mouth? Why should my mouth be smelling this way? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Yeah. So the young woman, because you say my daughter, the young woman who wants to just try weed, meaning Indian, meaning cannabis, once, you don't know what the experience. There's nothing like, well, let me just try. Young people say, okay, you had your own experience. Let me have my own. There's a Russian proverb. It says it's only a fool that wants to have his own. They say the wise person learns from other people's mistakes. It's only a fool that wants to say, let me learn from my own mistakes. When you have people there that you can see what has happened to them. So let your daughter know. You say, how do I respond wisely? you might not like how you feel. And for some people, it does not take more than once for health complications to arise. Share those. Like we say, okay, I will get back to you. Go and look for videos about some effects and things, and come back and say, okay, I want us to watch this. So just sit down, put it, watch with her, and then ask for her response. Do you still want to try? Okay? Yeah. Another question here is, at what age do children start to get this urge to feel grown up? At any age. At what age did your daughter start wearing your shoe at home? At what age did your son start putting on your t-shirt? At what age do your children go to the dressing mirror and start applying your makeup on their faces? It's any age. It depends on, like we said, it usually starts with the commonplace thing, your fashion sense, the way you dress, what you put on, the way you drink water, the way you put food in your mouth, the way you sit. They copy all of those. Those ones, you can laugh about them, but let those become talking points for now talking about other serious things. Because if they could copy the way you sip water, they will copy if you smoke cigarettes. They will copy if you drink alcohol. They will copy if you use any other psychotropic substances. And like we said, they will start from your own leftovers. Okay? This other person here says, how do I stop my child from listening to music that glorifies negative actions like substance use and abuse? I have warned him, discuss, have a conversation, not one. I have warned him about the dangers of it many times, but he is not listening to me. He's seizing his phone, the right thing to do. He don't seize his phone, sorry. I'm not supporting him, so you don't accuse me of being support. Don't seize his phone. You see, we said freedom. We said, if you remember in the video, even now I'm also telling you, being that restrictive, don't do no, don't do, negotiate. Like we said, agree on boundaries and agree on consequences for crossing those boundaries, overstepping those boundaries. So that when a child does something, already knows what the result is going to be. So you don't leave anything out of your boundary setting exercise or session. If you sit as a family, and remember, boundary setting is not a once and for all, cannot be a once and for all thing. The children will go. If you had more than one, you didn't keep back to all of them one day. So what is not necessary, what a 2-year-old, 4-year-old might not understand, when it gets to 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, you will understand it. But the boundary is already there. You hold another session to the persons that have grown up when it was made. It'll be a refresher course for them, and then you are able also to make additional clarification based on current practices or the practices of that moment or that time or that environment. Okay, so seizing the phone is not, did you agree when you set your family boundaries that if you do this with your phone, it might earn you a seizure of your phone for a period of, did you agree? If you didn't agree, meanwhile, if you have not set any boundaries with your children, if you don't agree on boundaries that should also include you, your own actions, please find time to do it. It helps. It helps maintain discipline. It helps, put a sense of shared responsibility on the table. Okay? And then, in this particular case, the boundary is still what will help you. We agreed we should not listen to certain kinds of music here. If we said this, remember, it's going to earn you a penalty. And we've said, don't use things that would now make the correction look like a punishment. Okay? We've said don't use basic right things. The phone, you might use the phone to, yes, he needs the phone to talk to the friends and all of that. So not making him not be able to talk to the friend. Yes, you get a point, you have a point. But then things like his pocket money, which we can't be regained, will not be paid cannot be paid retroactively once you are sanctioned for not doing something or for doing something wrong. Your pocket money is gone for that period, it's gone. Everybody likes to negate. Have you ever wondered that where in certain societies, the police don't come to arrest you for anything? They send you they send you a fine that you must pay that will begin to attract interest as you don't pay it until then finally end up in court, one way or the other. Okay, so apply disciplinary measures that you agree on in this case. Okay, if you didn't have any in place, have that discussion. Let this be a reason why you will now call that conference to set boundaries and agree, okay, on new things. Okay. As parents, what does setting a correct balance between freedom and boundaries for our children look like in practice? It looks like what I just described. You have the right to do anything. These are the things we agreed to do and not do in this family. You have the right to go and do the one we say don't do. So you also know that there's a consequence. You have responsibility to live up to the consequences for doing it. That's what it looks like. Agree. We said, don't set boundaries unilaterally. Discuss it. Even when the children are too young, well, if it's your first child, well, till the child can understand, yes, mommy, yes, daddy, have that discussion. Okay? As other ones come up, refresh. Okay? That's part of what we've said here. Okay? Sorry, TikTok is trying to shut down. No, come on. Ooh. Okay, so we're here. We're good. Okay, so refresh and let the children know that this is what we have agreed to. And once is an agreement, nobody's feeling aggrieved when they go wrong. So there are consequences for all our actions in freedom, in exercising our freedoms. Okay. Every day, my daughter plays with her dolls by pretending they are dancing at a club with bottles in her hand. My husband is certain it's just a phase and we should wait it out. What? It's not a phase. Have that discussion now. It is not a phase. A child is playing doctor with a doll. It's not a phase. Okay, why do you encourage that child that is playing with a doll? Why do you say, oh, you want to be doctor, nurse? Okay, fine. So why don't you say that that person wants to be a nightclub dancer or same thing? You don't wait. Have that discussion. No, have that discussion. Why are you doing this? See them, it's not good. Well, have that discussion depending on who you are in your family, your culture, your tradition, your family values, your family etiquette. Have that discussion. Don't postpone it. Don't say she will leave it. She will not, she will grow into it. She will not overgrow it. She will grow into it. Okay? Most people say teens start taking substance because they want to do or try something new. Can this statement be true? Yes, it is true, but it's not everything you must want to try that is new. It's not everything you have money that you should buy. Have that discussion. Okay? So that's why when you are setting boundaries, let the issue of substance use, even if you don't use it, nobody is using, put it in your family boundaries, guidelines. So at least it registers, somebody knows that, no, this is not for our family. Or they'll come back and say, ah, mom, do you know what happened today? My friends, oh, okay, and then what did you do? I quietly left the place. Good boy, good girl. Okay? Is it true that youth start using substances when they get relative freedom in school? They'll try anything. But if you have prepared them Remember, we said there's no such thing as absolute freedom. None. None whatsoever. No such thing as absolute freedom. Freedom comes with responsibilities and consequences. Okay? So if going to school, of course, if you hadn't built a communication relationship with your children and they are living home, of course, you are going to see brand new persons when they come home the next time they come home. You are going to see things here. But if you have communication relationship, they're talking, and it's not the time that it is the day before they have to leave home. You know, like some parents, is the night before their daughter has about to go to their husband's home. They say, okay, okay, kneel down, let me pray for you. You know, don't do this at this time. The young woman will just be laughing now. Okay, you know, start those discussions early. Keep at them. Then leaving home for whatever reason becomes another point to clarify things you have already been discussing. Yes, of course, when your children leave home, they're going to meet other children outside there who are not from the same background as they are. And we have also established in the last episode that children want to be with their friends. They want the children, like every human being, people like people to like them. But it takes a lot of maturity, understanding, intellect, to know certain things we know now. It's not always what we've known as young people. Like we keep saying, sometimes some parents behave as if they never grew up. They just dropped from Mars, fully grown. I grew up. I just shared with you how I learned to drive. I shared with you my first cigarette. Well, my mouth, I can't. Nobody needed to tell me, not even my dad, not even anybody. Your children will try those things. And some children are very, very secretive. They can't do anything outside and come home and behave like saints until the consequences you have talked about now show up in most times embarrassing ways, in most times in threatening ways, most times in very harmful ways. And you will be like, where did I go wrong? You went wrong when you stopped paying attention. So pay attention. Have those discussions, okay? Have those interrogations and have those encouraging, pats on the back when they get things right. Don't wait and don't only talk about what your children don't get right. Encourage them, high five them, do the fist pumps when they get things right, okay? And let them know vocally that you're proud of them. Don't assume they should know because you give them food, you pay their school fees, you pay the rent. No. Let them know you are proud of them, you love them, you care about them, you believe in them. Okay? That will be it for our show for today. We thank you so very much for being here with us. It's still another episode of the Slow Parenting Podcast on Nostalgia Media. My name is still Richie Adewusi. Today we've talked about the craving to feel grown up by copying what adults do as one of the reasons why your children might want to experiment with psychotropic substances. And we've also discussed the things you can do to prevent that from happening. We've also produced a video which is available at our YouTube at Nostalgia Media, the Slow Parenting Podcast. You can access that video anytime you choose. You can download it and distribute it anytime. And we actually encourage you to please share the video. Okay? Till we come your way again, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 7 p.m. West African Time, including Nigeria. It's the time to say bye-bye. See you again next week. Take care.
Recording stopped.